What's up, y'all? Sorry about the delay. Like I said in chat, had to make myself a drink. Also, I got a new mic and setup, and I was troubleshooting that for a little bit, so stream problems. But happy Friday. Cheers. Let me take a second to settle in before we get started. And if you're in the chat, let me know how the music and mic balance is, because again, new equipment. Hey, what's up, Marcus? Thank you. Yeah, the overlays sort of go with the new style of like OG image I have for my blog posts. But yeah, so what we're audio balance is left ear only. Okay. Let's check it. I think it's because I'm using a Scarlett now, one of these Focusrite boxes. Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Like I said, new audio equipment. This is always what happens. What about now? Is that in 2 ears now? Same. Horatio, jealous of the mic or jealous of the overlays? Because the overlays, definitely big shout out to Ryan Warner there. Okay. Yeah, so when I did my setup for my new Egghead videos, I was able to set it to one channel so that they went to both the left and right channel, even though it's like a mono signal. It's a little louder, but the audio is still in the left channel only. Yeah, let me see if I can figure out what's going on here. I'm actually using iShowU Audio, but everything should be coming through. iShowU Audio. I think it has to do with the Scarlett. Scarlett. Can you hear me now? Am I coming through? How about now? Am I in both channels right now? Looks like I'm not. Interesting. Nope. All right. You know, it's been a while. I took 2 weeks off from streaming here because I've been working on some other stuff. And I come back and what happens? This is what happens. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I've been trying to do. Let's see. This is strange. Scarlett. Tracks 1 and 2. Tracks 1 and 2. No, that's still mono. Strange. Strange times. Sorry about this, y'all. Yeah, the setup, I feel like every time I set up, something goes wrong here. Let's see. This is part of the fun. Can you hear me in both channels now? I have 2 different inputs, different levels. This is just me louder. These channels is English channels. music should be a little lower. Echo and reverb in the channel. Left channel for your audio. Yep. Okay, so the reverb and stuff should be gone, but it's still coming in as a mono signal. Let's see why that is. There's no signal on the back of this. Sync offset, volume 92%. Down mix to mono. What about now? Am I in both channels now? I think I am. According to the VU meter, I'm in both channels right now. Yeah. Doing it live. Yes. Thank you, friends. Hey, what's up, Joseph? Yeah, so again, this was... The issue here was... I'll bring this... Let me see if I can bring this window over here. Can I not? All right, so there's... If you use Slobs or Streamlabs OBS, in the audio mixer, next to each channel, there is a checkbox, down mix to mono. So it basically took my... Because this is, I believe, a mono input. And so I think down mix to mono, it takes that mono signal and then maps it to a stereo track so that it's coming in the left and right. All right, cool. Now that we have that out of the way, what a way to start. What we're going to do today is I want to continue working on sort of this React live stream package I have. Twitch updated their API a while back, and we set up a serverless function here. And I'm actually, whoops, let me copy this. And then come into our terminal. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I have to pass it a data object. So the function, like I said, it's been like a month since I've worked on this. So what we have here is an endpoint, and we basically pass in, or we hit this endpoint, and then it requests a token from the new Twitch API, because everything now requires an OAuth token. So we were, before the earlier version of this was requesting the, hitting the API from the client, and now we have to essentially hit a serverless function that gets us a token, which comes back to the serverless function. Then we use that to make the API call, and then all of the data gets returned back to the client. Essentially is what's going to happen here. So I got an empty data object. And let's see why that is. Okay. Get Twitch data. So there's no body that we're supposed to be sending in here. We're just hitting it. Twitch API client ID. So it's still coming back empty. Okay, so it looks like we're getting, here's our hits in the log for our Netlify function. Interesting. Nothing is coming back. However, I would expect something to come back because I'm online right now. And so the idea here is I should be getting an object back that represents my broadcast information. What I'm gonna do, let me run here. run netlify dev. So now we have essentially a local instance of netlify running here. And if I remember correctly, yeah, what we want to do is we want to essentially hit a local function. We just want to test this out locally and see if it's working, and then figure out what's going on from there. Functions, help. Yeah, okay, so netlify functions list, I think there is. Netlify functions, invoke. Twitch API. Did you forget to set a netlify tool? Don't believe so. This is going well. Let's see. Netlify functions invoke Twitch API. So I would think that that would work. Oh. I know why. It's because I'm running this in the wrong directory. So I think I need to run it in here. Yeah, there we go. So I was running it in the npm package directory, but I need to be running it in the actually my Gatsby site, because that's the repo that has the netlify functions in them. So while this boots up, continue sipping on this Philadelphia Distillery vodka. Thank you, Philadelphia Distillery, for still delivering, even though our state liquor stores are not open. So haven't had wine in 2 months now. Really miss it. One day. Okay, let's try to invoke this again. Let's see, okay. Okay, so we're getting the same empty object back, which is strange because last time we were on stream this worked. So we don't even need to worry about that actual production function because this is not working. So let's go to the code. So this is the actual package. We'll worry about that later. I think I have an idea actually. So because I changed some stuff in the in these repos, I think I might need to link these locally, if I remember correctly. Let's see, what's the latest version of this that I have up? So 1.0.11. And what do we have running inside of our Gatsby site? 1.0.11, so that's the right version. So it's coming back. Why is it coming back empty? Yeah, I think actually, is that what I need to do? Let's see, yarn link. Yarn unlink. Yarn link. Yarn link React live stream. So we're going to link these locally. Now I think I have to run both of these. List, yarn, run, develop. It's been a while since I worked in these repos. I've been working on some custom hooks in a completely different repo using a different file structure, a different linking strategy. So remembering all this is always fun. How's it going, Ivan? All right. Build problems. Interesting. Oh, hey. How's it going? Thanks for opening the PR. I'm trying to figure out how I had this set up before to test it, so apologies. Still nothing. Okay. So let's think about this for a second. Do I need to be linking these things? Right now, I want to test just the request, essentially. And that is within this repo. So I'm going to yarn unlink live stream. Because if I remember correctly, in our ryanharris.dev, we are using the latest version. So we should be okay there. Yarn unlink. Okay. So let's just run this, netlify dev. How was everybody's week? Failed. Cannot resolve. Oh, yes. That's because I unlinked them, so I have to do yarn install force. I've lately been debating between whether I should prioritize a light so you guys can see me on stream or a mechanical keyboard so I can have some fun with the clickety-clackities. Okay, we have our yarn, or our node modules, I should say, installed. Let's run netlify dev again. The keyboard. Yeah, I'm thinking about that ducky 65%. Okay, all right, I'll do it. I was like, maybe I should do something to celebrate the egghead thing. And I keep saying like, I don't really need it. You know, can't really justify it. Whatever. But I'm going to do it. All right, let's try this function again. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so it's still empty. So now we know this is in our function. It doesn't have anything to do with the package. The package is going to use this later. So let's see. Let's come in here and log out our response. Make sure we're getting something before all this crazy stuff happens. And sorry about all the screen jumping. I'm trying to work on a better way to manage all my apps and stuff so I'm not constantly switching because the monitor's scaled up, so I can't keep them all on the same screen. If you turn the light off behind you and got a cheap desk lamp to point at the wall in front of you... James, did you also go to film school, my friend? Yes. Bounce lighting. I also could use a ring light, to highlight these eyes. Very fashion forward. All right. So we're still getting an empty object. And this is, yeah, so we're seeing that at least. Aha. Let's get rid of this. So down here, we are getting a response with a status 200, and we're getting a token, fetching broadcast info. So that means that we go up here, fetching broadcast info, API. We're using my username here because this is basically the idea here is that everybody using this NPM package is going to have to set up their own serverless function or node endpoint, whatever they want to use to hit the Twitch API because it has to be server to server. Yeah, I did. So I did some AV work in college, and I worked with a lot of people who were theater technicians, and they did a lot of the same stuff. It was very interesting because my film school lighting knowledge didn't necessarily really apply directly. It's interesting, completely different world. All right, let's come down here and let's log out this response, see what's going wrong. Because the idea here is I am streaming. So we're hitting this endpoint looking for information about a user with a login name of Ryan C. Harris. That would be me. You're watching the stream, so we know I'm live. And essentially, we're going to use the new token we got, send out the request, and the response should say, hey, okay, we got it back. Let's turn it into JSON. And then what we do is we're going to return that. Because back here, we return the result of this. And that returns back to here. And then essentially we're supposed to take that data and send it back to the person who's hitting the endpoint. Okay, let's try it. So there's our token response. Here's our broadcast response. Unauthorized. Very interesting. So apparently we're not, this token we're using is not working. Even though last time we were on the stream, we troubleshot this? Oh, you know what? I think I know what's going on. I'm not sure if I merged the pull requests for that. So I think the work we did there might be on a different branch. Let's see. Nope. It's not in a pull request. Branches. Let's bring this down. So set up functions. So the last thing we did was, because this is my personal site, so I write articles and like merge pull requests for that, but I have different branches where we're doing feature work for the stream, so yeah. I'm using a new terminal setup this week, a new terminal application. I'm using Tmux now. I'm using, this is complete tangent from what we're doing today, but a coworker showed me this tool, TIG, which is just a one-letter offset of Git. And it's like a, you know, you have Git log here, or Git reflog, reflog. You know, they're both helpful, but they don't show you all the information you're looking for. TIG shows you this nice visualization of the branches, all your commits, where your heads are, but also you can select each one and then scroll through them and check out each actual commit. Yeah, it's dope. This is like my new favorite thing. I love this. All right, so it looks like we did fix the function. Yeah, it looks like the work we did to fix this function is on a different branch. So let's try that out. Get branch. Get checkout setup functions. Not sure if this is right, to be honest. Let's try it out. Okay. Let's see. Origin, setup functions. Okay. Server's back up. Still nothing. So let's see. First, let's bring this over here. Fetching Brook. So we're getting in there. Could have sworn I fixed this on the last stream. Let's see what's going on. Unauthorized again. Oh, thanks for the follow. Let's see what's going on here. Unauthorized. Okay, so I'm getting it unauthorized, but let me go back into our Git history here. Actually, we're going to check out the site. Pull requests. Let's look at the closed pull request, because I'm pretty sure that this work is not in master, but I did merge this pull request. So it does look like it is in master. Get stash, let's get rid of this. Master, get pull origin master. Okay. Let's see what work we did in here. Added a Netlify folder. This is our serverless function. This is our Netlify toml file. And then here is our .env and node fetch install. So there's, okay, that should work. And then I deployed that, which is our production endpoint here. So, okay, assuming that what I deployed is right, we're basically back to square one and wondering why this doesn't work. Interesting. Okay, but we know our master branch has the work that's deployed. And we can double check that. Deploys. Yeah, so here we deployed that branch to production, and then we've deployed other stuff since. Okay. Come back to our function logs. All right, so I think we do need to troubleshoot this locally so we're not hitting Netlify every 5 seconds. So let's fire up the branch, overriding the following environment variables with .m variables, okay? Hey, come back here. Okay. Okay, everything fired up. So let's go back to logging this out because I want to see what the token looks like. Okay, so we got a token back. URL. All right, I guess it's back to the documentation for some reason. Okay. Let's see. It's probably in my archive. All right, so on your server, get app access by hitting this endpoint, client ID, client secret, grant type, and scope. Scopes are optional, client ID, client secret, grant type. I'm just gonna move this off the screen so you all can't see it for a second. Just double check that my environment variables are indeed defined. Let's see. Client ID and secret. Yes, 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 yes. They're there. Okay. Let's bring this bad boy back over here. For some reason, Mac won't let me delete this lingering desktop over here. So we're making a post request. Yep. We're hitting the token URL with the post request, saying that we're looking for JSON to come back, and we're passing the client ID. And I believe, let's see. Let's do this. Excuse me. Okay, yeah. So here I'm getting an access token. Cool. Let's take this access token. Open Insomnia. And so that token is supposed to hit this endpoint with the token. Streams, query, Ryan Harris, OAuth. Where's the headers? Header. Okay, send that. 401. I feel like this is the I could have sworn we solved this exact problem last stream. Making me feel like I'm going crazy here. So we have use reducer. These are my articles, master setup functions, update OG image. So those are the only branches that could be on. We merged that. We've merged setup functions. So you know, the next thing I'm going to check, I'm going to take this off the screen, but I'm going to go and make sure that our environment variables are in fact correct by going into the Twitch console. Full screening apps, man, just won't cooperate. All right. What is going on? This has been quite a stream, y'all. Just difficulty left and right. For some reason, my Firefox on my laptop monitor won't let me type in it when I open a new window. Oh, now I'm moving things in slobs. Twitch dev console. Okay. Now they want to send me a text message to authenticate. This is quite a process here. Let's get that message. All right, we're in. So I just want to check our, I guess, authentication here because we're getting a response back. We're making the right request according to the documentation. So at this point, it's got to be something with the keys. I would imagine. I mean, famous last words on my part. Okay, so I'm going to have to bring this back. Let's see. Get out of here. Twitch. just updating my environment variables. Okay, we'll come back over here. So we're going to stop the server, clear this. I'm actually going to get out of here. I'm going to split the screen the other way. Go into my code directory, go into my website directory, run netlify dev to fire the server back up, to pick up on our new environment variables that it's overriding here. And by overriding, I mean instead of using the netlify toml, which is what it'll use in production, and those values, what it's going to do, it's going to use my .m file here locally on my system while I'm working. Or that's the idea. Whether it works, we'll see. Okay, so we're getting a token back. Cool. This is the token. So then we fire this. Let's make sure the token's coming in properly. Okay, so the token is coming into the function that actually hits the API. Streams. Okay, let's go look at the documentation again. Get streams. So these docs are, come on. So we have, you have to pass in the client ID as the header. You have to pass another header, which is your authorization header with a bearer token, which is the one that we got from the first call. So let's double check that. Get Twitch data. So we're only passing in the auth here. We need to pass in the client ID as well, which I believe looks like that. Let's double check that. Client-ID, that's what we want. And this should be our Gatsby client ID. So we are using that for our first call. However, we're not using it for the get streams call. So I think that's the issue here. So we actually could just take this directly. Add it to our second call. Let's call it again. Okay, cool. Now it's working. Whee. So this is an object that we have here. I'll copy it. And then in here, we'll paste it. Say that it's JSON. JSON. Format it. No, Wacom. No auto format. Prettier. Yes. JSON. Yes. Select it all. Configure it. I guess not. Okay, so the key here, if this was formatted, it'd be a little bit nicer, but essentially we can see we get a data object that represents my streams, because instead of getting back just a generic list of streams, We requested specifically ones having to do with my username, which was the login parameter we passed to the API call. And so that's Ryan C. Harris. Type is live. This is the title of the stream you're watching right now. It tells us when it started. So this is the information that our node module is going to need. So let's get rid of this. What did we really change here? I think all we changed is, yep. So we don't want to log this out. The only thing we changed, nope, we don't want that JSON either to be logged. Woo! Hot corners. Oh yeah, Salt and Burnham. Chris, what's up, my man? Yeah, this is what year is this? I think this is 2019, maybe 2018. I think the year you were there, was it? No, so I think the year after you spoke, it was like the bell was like a little Pac-Man ghost. Okay, cool. So we have this working. Get add the header I need for the thing to work. Let's just push directly to master. It's a Friday. You were there in 2018. Oh, that might have been the one then. Actually, yeah, that probably was the one. Let's see. All right, let's go back to Netlify. Go to our deployments. So we push to master. So I think we want to clear cache and redeploy site because I didn't trigger it with the PR. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So the commit's on master, and then what we did is we triggered a new build. Yeah, so it's building. So essentially what should happen, yeah, it's building off that commit. And so this should go out, and then we should be able to hit that live endpoint. It should work, and then we can actually get to working on the stream package. Pardon me here, I'm gonna open some cashews. You know, it's Friday, having a drink, need a little snack here. A little power up after the disaster that this first hour has been. Let's check these logs. Okay. Then once this goes up, we should be able to hit this endpoint. Yo. With the bad copying. Okay, there we go. Come on. We should be able to curl against that once this builds. Yeah, it's too bad I didn't stream yesterday, Chris. I was wearing my Party Corgi tank top, showing off these pale Polish arms over here. Site is live. All right. Why is this building? I don't know. Let's see. Let's try it. Let's just see if this works. Cannot retrieve access token from Twitch. Interesting. Why is that? Why is this building, dude? No. I want this. Let's redeploy this. For some reason, another, like an earlier commit was triggering a build. So I feel like clearly conflicting builds there. So I'm just going to rebuild. Yeah, James, it was at the beginning of the month. So I had this whole thing working for Twitch, Mixer, YouTube. They all make requests from the React component in the client, get the data back, and then either render the iframe or they don't. Twitch decided that it needs to be an OAuth call. So to get those tokens, you actually have to make a server-to-server call. So the React component needs to hit the serverless function, which hits the Twitch API to get the token. Token comes back. We make another API call to Twitch with the token. That data comes back, and then we return it back to the client. I don't know why, because yeah, no, honestly, at first I was like, yeah, I get it. They want to lock down the API, but this is readily available information. I feel like it would be even easier to just hit the page, get the HTML document, and look for like some specific thing that shows that someone's live. I think there's like a little live badge that gets rendered somewhere. Annoying. All right, let's see how this is going. So when this actually builds and deploys, we should be able to make this request, and it should just get us the data that we're looking for. Unless there's an issue with the environment variables, this is still stuff that's like, the more I think about it, the more confused I get. I have local environment variables here on my system that are being pulled out of the .env every time we rebuild locally with our Netlify dev server. But then when I deploy this, I believe it pulls it out of the actual Netlify UI. So I'm going to double check that I have these values in there and that they're accurate. I actually don't have them in here. Do I have them in a TOML file? Let's double check that. Nope. All I have in my TOML is this. Just saying this is the command to run on build, put in this directory. This is where my serverless functions live. Excuse me. Okay. Let's move along here. Published, okay. Cannot retrieve access token from Twitch API. So that's the message that comes back if the initial call fails. So I have a feeling it's because I need to define these inside of the UI of Netlify. So let me do that. This is the type of stuff that makes it like, I have a 32-inch monitor in front of me, and for work it's totally fine because I don't have to hide anything, but every time I stream, I feel like I'm pulling stuff off the screen so you guys can't see it, to my laptop screen over to the side, and it's like maybe I should just get a second screen. Okay, so I do have the environment variables in here, but since I just updated them, they're going to be incorrect. So I need to, and by updated them, I mean I requested a new secret within the Twitch UI. So I need to make sure that these values are now correct. So that's the client ID. This is the secret. Save that. Let's go back to the overview. Okay, so since I just updated these values, I need to redeploy the site and clear the cache, I believe. So we'll do that right now. Where it deploys. No, I'm sorry. Domain settings. Clear cache and deploy site. Anybody have any big plans for the holiday weekend? Can't really go anywhere, so I think it's between the living room, the kitchen, bedroom, maybe the back space if you got one. We actually just we have a very tiny space behind the house, but we finally got a patio umbrella so we can sit out there when it's sunny. Yeah, there you go, Marcus. Look at that. That's a good dad right there. So while we're waiting, I might as well do some shameless plugging. See if I can find it. I released my first Egghead video this week. Super happy about that. Yeah, here you go. So, I did a little lesson here about how to use the new GitHub CLI and a bash script, or I should say shell script, because I'm a ZSH user. But essentially programmatically going through directories, on your local system and running the GHPR status command to get like sort of a cool output. And I actually have this is sort of based on something I actually have on my system now. I could do this. These are work related PRs, but I run Fauna PRs. I'm not authenticated because I'm using a new terminal. Here, I'll show you in a different one. Ooh, really? Okay. So it goes through all of these repos that I maintain at work and logs out the PR information about your current branch, PRs you've created, and ones that are looking for a review from you. Super handy. Hop on Egghead, check it out. All right, let's see if this is done. And then I'm going to do, this weekend I'm doing some recording. I'm going to be working on another lesson about managing node versions with NVM. And I think I'm going to eventually turn that into a collection of NVM tips. Because actually while I was doing some research, just to make sure I had all the technicals correct, realized it does a lot more stuff than I thought it did. So probably useful for other folks as well as myself. Let's turn it into a video. All right, so it looks like we published. Let's see if this works. Dope. It does work. It works, y'all. Sorry, this new Egghead mic, man, it makes me just want to like lean in and whisper like I'm doing a little podcast, a little ASMR chat. All right, so cool. We got this object back. Now, let's shut down this Netlify dev server. Let's think about this real quick. So, RyanHarris.dev, cool, is now the Netlify function is deployed and working. So our package, which is in a different directory, let's go up. Let's go to React Livestream. So this package is the one that needs to now hit this serverless function. However, I'm using it here in RyanHarris.dev, so we want to link these together. So let's see, yarn unlink, just to make sure I don't still have it registered. React live stream. And what this does is essentially it's going to tell the RyanHarris.dev repo when it's running, don't look in your node modules folder for this React live stream package. Actually grab it right out of the build or the dist folder within this local repo here, which is going to be watched by rollup. Well, it's microbundle actually, but microbundle's watching and rebuilding every time I change files. So, whoops. So let's go code, React live stream. I think it's develop is the command. Yarn run dev maybe. There we go. Cool. Oh, no. What am I doing? First thing I need to do is yarn link. So we're saying to the system now you can run yarn link React live stream. And that's exactly what we want to do here in this repo, yarn link React live stream. Cool. So now what we can do is we're going to fire up this server. Well, first let's fire up the microbundle watch. Then we'll fire up the Gatsby server. So now these two are linked. Every time I change files in React Livestream, this will rebuild, and then this will rebuild as well. And then I just have these open so I can actually commit stuff in case I get it right. RyanHarris.dev. Okay, cool. So that is right here. Actually, sorry about all this window management. It's not the easiest. Thanks, James. You like my site layout? I'm actually working on changing it. That's once I finish this off so that people can actually use this thing, since I've spent so much dang time working on it. I've been working on a redesign of my site with Ryan Warner on and off, and I'm ready to get that out because I have so much more content. It's like I would like the presentation to look a little bit better. Oh, Toxic Toast, for real? I'll have to put up a PR. That's a... Thank you so much for pointing that out. I am a member of Live Coders. Eagerly awaiting our 2020 Live Coder jerseys, which are sponsored by one of our sponsors, Fauna, which is just happens to be where I work. So proud to rep the brand and Live Coders. All right. Well, I'll have to fix that. That's not good. Okay. React Livestream, back in RyanHarris.dev. Let's close all these windows. Let's minimize all this stuff. Get it out of my way. We're going to come into our index page here. And this is the blog roll right now. That's going to change. But this is where we're using React Livestream. And excuse me, what we're doing is we're passing in Twitch as the platform, my username, and the Gatsby Twitch client ID, which is what I updated. So this should still work. And then what we want to do in here, let's just to prove that they're connected. Oh yeah, that's a good. Hey, James, want to do me a favor and file an issue on my GitHub repo? That's like how I track all of my to-dos there. That would be awesome. So let's just log out our props here. Yes, I should actually open the browser too. Why am I getting all these bundle failures? Okay, so the link is not working. Let's just make sure the link is actually working. Yeah, so it's a symbolic link to the node modules. RyanHarris.dev node modules React live stream. Symbolic link. Okay, so I think it is linked. Hey, thanks for the follow, Toxic Toast. Yeah, where are you talking React use? Oh, yeah, that's true. I just did it for simplicity, but yeah, I can destructure that on the import. Thanks, Marcus. Thanks for hanging out. You have a good weekend yourself, my friend. All right, so I'm now linking them. I thought I was before. Let's run this, yarn run start. I wonder if this is an NPM or NVM issue. Ooh, this ESM, CommonJS, export, import stuff. Generating development bundle failed. Okay. Oh, wow. Dang, Ivan. You're doing more work on this than I am. Storybook, nice. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm definitely going to have to bump major versions when I fix this because it's definitely going to break backwards. All right, installing all that stuff. Yep, T-structure. Yeah, it's nice abstracting this to a custom hook. Cleaning up this so it's not huge. This all looks really nice, Ivan. Thank you so much for this. Once I get what I have here working, I'll look at your PR and then I can merge this stuff in. Why won't this? You know what? Yeah, Toxic Toast. I actually started doing a little storybook stuff at my last job before I switched over to Fauna, and it seemed super awesome. So I have a test React app here, and I think I'm going to try it in here and see if it still breaks. Yeah, actually, that's true. I can do that. I was trying to, because I need to change the API as well, but that might be a good way to start. So. Yeah, because the thing is I actually need to, like, I can run the curl to see if the endpoint's working, but I actually need to connect them so that when I load the page, I can see if the data is coming back. So I know this. What I can do is I can take the endpoint from here. And then in my React live stream package. Instead of this, I'm actually going to do just URL. Yeah, that's actually what I want to do. And then Yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to do. I'm working on some custom hooks for proof of concept at work right now and using TypeScript. So that's all going to be TypeScript from the start. And then the plan is to come back here and do that as well for this stuff. Gotta move this off the screen. Gotta move this off the screen too. Yeah, right now this is still early on. I was just trying to get this up and running, but yeah, I'm gonna do TypeScript. Thanks, Joseph. Thanks for hanging out. We're getting somewhere. I promise. You have a nice weekend, my friend. Enjoy your holiday. Stay safe out there. Currently building a backend with TypeScript, basically a microservice architecture for various things. Oh, cool. Yeah, someone shared at the meetup I run the other day a cool tool that allows you to map GraphQL types to TypeScript types. I think it's called like GraphQL TypeScript generator, something like that. Yeah, GraphQL code generator. Ooh, GitHub's down. So this tool here will actually take GraphQL schemas and then spit out types for you. So you don't have to redefine everything. And you can keep things consistent across. Okay, so this is linked locally. This is the test app. This is the .dev. We can get rid of this. This is the actual code we're working on. Okay, cool. That triggered a rebuild. So I think everything is set up now. Let's see. Oh, this is that stupid thing where it's like I have to yarn link React from one, excuse me, from one tool to the other. I forget who needs to link to what. Let's see, CD node, CD React. I think it's this. And then I have to yarn link, and this registers React. Oh yeah, yarn unlink. Okay, so now I'm linking this React to this React, yarn link React, because my package here uses React and this uses React. So like there's this collision where you're using two versions of React at once, and that does not work. So let's start up the development server again. Cool. Okay, so you can see here we're getting our props in. And then if we so we want to yarn run dev. So that should trigger a build here. It did. Cool. And now we're getting our props in our code base for React Livestream right here, which is awesome. Took long enough. And then what we want to do is we no longer need this. So that's why our props are coming in as they are. Let's put this in between here. So you can see this is our props object, mixer channel ID, blah, blah, blah. These are the two that are getting passed in right now. So we're going to need to actually change the API of how this works. This is no longer going to take a, Twitch client ID. And I actually do have prop types defined here, by the way, guys. I forgot about that. So Twitch client ID. Twitch client ID, take that away. You know what? Before we do this, let's do proper work here. And let's actually create a new branch. You know what? Get diff. Get checkout source index, reset that, and then we'll say get create branch, add serverless Twitch. Now we'll go back. Now we can make changes. Yeah, so we're getting our error now for our prop types, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to remove that. Username. Now fetch Twitch data. Yeah, we're getting this error, and that's what we're expecting. And again, let me go back to this. Okay. Yeah, this code needs to be cleaned up for sure. We're going to say cause Twitch. So this is going to be Twitch data URL. And actually, you know what we want to do? We're going to make this a prop because somebody's going to pass this in from the outside. So Twitch URL. And we can call it prop types dot string. Default prop null. Twitch data ID or data URL. And then here we're going to want to pass Twitch data URL equals this. Twitch data URL. That's going to become now in fetch Twitch data. We're actually going to call this. And then we should get a res back here. And we can just console.log that res. Response. Let's see what happens. Okay, cool. So there's logic here that's preventing this call. Let's see. So we have a switch. This use effect runs every time, or on the first render, initial render, and it checks the platform prop, finds that we're using Twitch. We go to this function, process Twitch stream, and basically what it's saying is, hey, if you don't have a client ID and a username, we're not going to make this call. But now we actually need to update this to say, hey, you need a Twitch data URL and a Twitch username. And then we also need to update this error to say, hey, you need the data URL and the username prop, or else we can't fetch this data for you. Network error when fetching data. I know what this is. Course policy. So it seems like this is something to do with my Netlify endpoint. Course. So that's calling fetch data. I'm getting coursed. Blame cores, always. So I can call it directly from my command line, but for some reason, when I call it from my browser, but I'm hitting the Netlify URL. So let's see. So this is requesting the information, fetching broadcast info. So it's getting a token, it seems. Error fetching from Twitch API. I think this needs to be async, maybe? No, but I'm getting coursed. What? Always coursed. So it looks like what it is that I need to enable cores on this endpoint. Netlify. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Ivan. But I think I have to actually enable that on the endpoint itself. Yeah, I think I need to define which path to specific headers blocks will cover. Yeah. Nullifies technical before if you're using headers. Gotcha, it needs to be sitting next to the index HTML rather than in the root like your Netlify toml. Can I add these here? That would be good because I don't want to update like my toml file and do all this over again. Functions. Okay. So I think I need to add these headers to my Netlify toml. I think I need to do this. I think I need to do this. And then do maybe this works. Let's see. So we're going to push up the new toml file and then redeploy and see if that fixes this issue. If not, I'm going to research it and come back on another stream and fix it because I'm getting hungry. Let's see. Clear cache and redeploy site. So it looks like this failed. Error checking out the repo. Interesting. Failed again. That sounds good, Chris. That sounds real good. Yeah, I ran out of gin, and the vodka's almost gone, so all that's left is the bourbon. What the fuck? Error checking out repo? What? This is the type of stuff that makes you wonder why. Holy shit. Netlify status. Is Netlify down? Is GitHub down again? GitHub's been down a lot today. Experiencing issues with GitHub API requests. Great. So I think that's a sign that we're going to stop because what are we going to do, right? Because I can't run the build to test this out, so we'll have to do it again on another stream. But thanks again for hanging out. Oh, yeah, James, they were having issues all afternoon. And, like, I had people in Slack at work that were like, I was trying to improve a PR, and I got a 500 error. So, yeah, Netlify is having issues connecting and checking out the repo. So that sort of blocks us right now because I do think that the solution here is going to be we just need to update our headers in our Netlify TOML so that we can say, hey, you need to allow people to make requests from the browser because that's where our requests in our live stream package is coming from. Once we do that, then we'll get the data, and I think it should be fine. And then we can start refactoring this, clean it up, and publish a new version. So let's call it a day. Sorry we didn't get much further than this. You know, it happens. But thanks again for hanging out. I'm Ryan. Check me out on Egghead. I'm a new instructor. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to be putting out new content, so please give me some views. I'd love it. Feedback is always welcome. And join me again for the next stream. I have a long weekend. Maybe I'll try to hop on again if I get some Egghead stuff done quickly. If not, maybe sometime next week. I'm looking to change up the time. Friday evenings is just like, I don't think it's good for anybody. So you have a good weekend. Stay safe. It's a long weekend. Make sure you take care of each other. Be kind to each other. Peace.